My name is Moody, rhymes with Judge Judy. But this is Moody from Minneapolis, and I'm.
What does Minneapolis rhyme with?
Moodyappolis. There's a lot of people calling it Moodyappolis ever since I moved here.
Well
I tell them
done.
you don't have to, but they say we feel obliged. But I'm calling to tell you about a story out of Minneapolis that happened around March. In Minneapolis public schools, there was a large data breach where a huge amount of student and staff data was taken, and I've been hearing from teachers just all throughout the city, like, oh yeah, my bank information was taken, it's been used. I'm getting all of these phone calls from like Zimbabwe phone numbers, and there's layers and layers of information that just keep coming out of, like, there was an article, I think last month, that some of the information that was taken out was of student data files where they had been reporting like their bullying and their other assault, and they were reaching out to the families, like, so what is your reaction to this information being out there? And for a lot of the families, it was the first time they had been contacted by anybody since the data breach happened in March. And so I started looking into it, and there were all these other data breaches of large school districts, small independent schools. And I do think that this is something that's going to continue across the board, with school districts not having like a really good source of funding, not having the best cybersecurity, but having a lot of sensitive information. And all it takes is like a data breach where it identifies, oh, there's this many students in this grade level at this school who use like they them pronouns for somebody to start getting some very like nefarious ideas, and just it's
is
something
that what you think
I
is going on? Like the data, like what do you like? How do you think this data breach is being like utilized?
Well, for this one in particular, and then I know that there was another one in Los Angeles. It was used for ransomware, where people were targeting specific school districts, stealing the data, and saying, like, well, if you pay this certain amount, we won't leak it onto the dark web. But I think the other negative aspect of it is that Minneapolis especially did not do a good job in terms of being transparent. For like weeks, they were saying that there was a nefarious actor who, like, or that there was some kind of glitch, and they were covering it by like, oh, well, everybody needs to change their password to these extremely complicated 13 characters with this many like, special
I think this is something that happened. I mean, this is happening, you know, schools, it's happening across the board. The idea of like, you know, it's a little bit terrifying to get the ideas in terms of like this being a methodology of targeting schools, but you know, that are like housing more, I guess, non, you know, the cis students, I guess. But I tend to think that we see these protests and these attacks on the schools are more of a function of the context of the community, and not really even tied into the numbers of kids who are not, you know, cis identifying. But that doesn't mean that the data breach is not a problem, but it's something that is like, we have this problem with schools. We have it with hospitals. I mean, every other day, I feel like I get like some notice that, you know, my data has been breached, my kid's data has been breached, or something like that. We have a real problem with that. I don't know what the solution is, but appreciate the call.
For sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
The way I would have done it would have been, my name is Sam. I'm from Minneapolis. I was also born in Minneapolis. To get those two to rhyme.
Yeah. Creative.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of like rapping here.
Where does that come from,
I'm
Sam?
wrapping it up.
I mean, honestly, your creativity, it's just like...
I'm just freestyling.
MC Sam.
Yeah. For thee, not me. I talk about liberty. I mean, come on.
Sam raps against Karl Rove for Western civilization.
Epic rap battle.
Wasn't it
MC
like,
Rove?
Elliot, like...
whose line is it anyway, guys?
that guy from Meet the Press did a thing with him too, or something.
I don't know. The one I saw was he was at some sort of Republican thing with the Whose Line Is It Anyway guys, and like Colin Mockery and stuff like that. And then Karl Rove decided to do
that
his
show is
MC
right
Rove
wing
dance.
coded.
Rob from Dedham, imagine you're walking through Harvard Square, and instead of Tracy Chapman busking like she did in the 80s, I wonder if everybody knows that, but that's where she got her start. You walk by Vivek Ramaswamy freestyle busking about Milton Friedman in Iran.
That's how we know that art is dead.
Oh, Juniper J had it. Minneapolis rhymes with the Indianapolis.
Okay.
But that you don't get it.
The point is for it. Yeah, right.
The best way to rhyme two words when you're doing freestyle is have them be
For
the
it to be
same
the same
words.
word. Yeah.